Right, welcome to another Shadow. My name is Robert Sharp, and I'm the data scientist over at Silicon Society. Today, we're going to play with a new feature on ChatGPT that allows it to do web searches dynamically. So, when we pose a question or query that it needs to get the most recent information, it will do a web search and supposedly even show us the resources that it uses to answer the question. So that's going to be fantastic. Let's give it an easy one to start with. Um, Give me the headlines for, let's do sport headlines for today. Searching the web, excellent. Here are today's top sports headlines. We have some NFL news. We have some college basketball news, women's baseball, hey, even rugby and MDA. And it looks like, yeah, we're even getting references to the links it used to formulate this answer. That's fantastic. Oh, it even has links down here that give us even more information. Okay. One thing to be mindful of, notice that I did not actually activate the search web feature. I just asked it a question that implied that it needed to get the most recent results, and it did it. So that's fantastic. Let's have it do something a little more difficult, shall we? Um, let's see. Write a component in Python to implement uh, oh, I know. Okay. Um, a GPT based chatbot. Now, the reason that I'm asking it to do this is because I've noticed several times in the recent past that um, asking it to do this will lead to it producing the old implementation of GPT through their API instead of their new one. So I want to see if we can coax it into searching for the new way to implement a chatbot with GPT. Let's see what it does first with this. And it does not look like it's searching the web. In addition, it's not even using the OpenAI library. Instead, it's creating interesting. Yeah, it's creating a local pipeline for it, which is not what I mean. Okay, let's be more specific. Um, no, we need to use OpenAI. Okay, so it imported OpenAI, that's correct. And this is the old format. Okay, so if I were to run this, it would not work. And so next, what I want to try to do is let it know that OpenAI has updated this. OpenAI did you um, it's updated their library requires new syntax. Please search. I'm going to be a little bit more specific here this time. Let's see, what do I want to do? Okay, so OpenAI, some typos. OpenAI has updated their library. Syntax. Please search the web for the most recent Oops. So it's searching the web, that's good. And still the old. That's too bad. Sources are interesting. These are recent sources. Interesting that it still got this wrong. That is very unfortunate. It's also using a rather old model. I like the way it set up this history. I may actually use that. The correct way to set this up, though, is to use the OpenAI client instead of directly calling the chat completion from the library. All right, maybe if. Huh. Yeah, so this is actually an outdated cookbook entry. Hmm. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, that's not relevant at all. Here we go. Yeah, that's actually the correct way to do it. It's interesting that it has a reference here to the right way, um, but it shows the old way anyhow. All right, so let's see if we can say here. Open AI cookbook has the newest way using the Open AI object instead of calling. Let's see, what was it exactly? That. Oh, yeah. There we go. So now we got it right. It's really unfortunate that it couldn't distill the most recent version of this from the sources that it gathered. It gathered a good source. Um, some of the noise from the other sources may have clouded its judgment slightly. Um, yeah, it took us really knowing what it was, knowing what we're looking for in order to coax it into the right answer, which is not ideal. Just so you know, this is my first time playing with this feature, so I'm learning right along with you. Just thought I'd point that out. All right. Um, let's go ahead and start a new chat. What are the top news stories of the day? Okay. Expected some campaign news in there. All right. And yeah, this looks pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily call this a balanced set of sources. That was kind of to be expected as well. Amazon's AI chips. Oh, that sounds. These new artificial intelligence chips. And yeah, tell me more about this. Yeah, they're going to try to compete with Nvidia, where all others have failed miserably. It's good though. Nvidia needs some competition. I'm definitely interested in seeing where this goes. So Ars Technica at the top here, or almost the top. That's fantastic. This is a great website. AOL. Are they still around? Amazing. Yahoo? This is from 2023. Interesting. Silly me. I was muted. All right. So here we have some of the recent advances in Python. Of course, we have 20 or Python 3.12 from last year. We have 3.13 from just last month. And it features this just-in-time compiler. I can't wait to play with this. I don't have it installed yet, but maybe that'll be my next shadow. We'll see. Yeah, 3.12 removed some deprecated modules. Not going to miss much there. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. So for my final experiment, what are some of the most amazing AI advancements lately? So it's pretty reliably searching the internet when it can infer the fact that we want something that's recent. And I think that's just great. Generative AI models. We got GPT-4 in 2023. I'm not sure that's so recent, but all right. Again, 2023. AI in healthcare. That sounds super scary to me. Not sure I'm into that. Um, I suppose in moderation, it could be very useful. I would certainly hope that they put a human in the loop, though. Um, don't see any of the real recent stuff, though. It's too bad. Are there any AI paper? Let's be more specific about when. From this month. All right, several notable AI research papers have been published in November. Frontier Math, Shrinking Gap Between Open and Closed, AI Models. That's interesting. AI's role in uncovering ancient geoglyphs. AI welfare. I thought I read this wrong at first. Somebody actually wrote a paper on the welfare of a sentient AI. Interesting. Let's see. I remember reading a paper about AI personalities. Do you know one? Member. There we go. Investigate large language models, exhibit personality traits, analyzing their behavior, responses to understand the emergence of distinct personalities. This, I want to read that. I'll spare you. All right, personality of AI. This research delves into development of personality traits in AI systems, explaining how training methods influence AI behavior and implications. Okay, AI personification, estimating the personality of LLMs. This paper focuses on accessing the personality attributes of AI language models, exploring methodologies to evaluate and interpret behavior patterns. Interesting. None of those are the one that I was talking about, but that's okay. This one looks pretty good though. Let's check this out. Huh. There we go. I'm not going to spend the time to read this right now, but this looks like a really interesting paper. Um, as some of you may know, I did some research in this about a year and a half ago, where I assigned Carl Jung's personalities to a set of 16 AI bots. And then I set them to the task of debating a common debate topic and having one of them play the role of the facilitator. And one of the tasks of the facilitator was to proclaim a winner of the debate. It's a really interesting um, project, and I might resurrect it, especially now that more people are looking at personality traits in large language models. I find the topic absolutely fascinating, and I think this is my hypothesis is that certain personality types, as an LLM, can show accelerated performance in certain tasks. So, for example, if we select one of the extrovert personalities and infuse that into an LLM, it may write better speeches, right? Or give better advice about how to insert what extroverts do good here, right? That is the idea of it. And yeah, I hope to resurrect that project, keep playing with it. Anyway, back to GPT. That is all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this session. I certainly did. And it looks like this feature of ChatGPT with web search is functioning pretty well with some caveats. It might be getting too many results and thereby clouding the result of what we're looking for a little bit. But that's okay. Iteration, 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 right? Get the product out there, get some feedback, and make it better. All right, folks. See you next time.